Hey guys, Thetcglover here. I'm moving to university on Sunday. Today is Friday, and I won't get a chance to make videos for the next couple of days because I'll be busy packing and doing busy shit like that. So the fact is, I've realised that I'm going to have to upload a deck profile, basically the one deck that I actually have space for to take with me on university, because if I do find people who play, then I can obviously play with them. And I had to choose between my agents, my Hero Lives deck, which I'm starting to see that's not as good anymore as it used to be, and Evols. And I thought, because of my particular fondness for Evols, I'm going to take them. I do like the way that the format is changing to a point where Evols are much more viable now. So I have a revised deck list from my original deck list. So this is going to be a version 2, which will be up at the top next to the Evols, Kyle's Evols or something, version 2. So yeah, very minor changes to the deck. Mainly it's becoming less insector hate and more about control. And this build, I feel, in this format, it functions so much better. And obviously because of stuff like Dolka being reprinted, the deck definitely functions a lot better now. I actually feel like it's so good that it can be played at a tournament level because of its just functionality. It just works really well. Obviously it's not completely perfect, but it's good enough to be able to win tournaments and so on. So yeah, let's get started with the deck list. Right, so first we're going to do the Evol tiles because they are pretty important. I'm going to be running 3 Evol tile Westlows, but for some reason I have a German Westlow and I have 2 English ones. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Evol tile Westlow is really fantastic. It flips up 1900 defense. It lets you special summon an Evosaur from your deck. Of course, there are 3 Evosaurs that are worth playing. I don't like the level 6 variant because I find that the draws incredibly annoying. However, in this format where Thunder King is becoming more popular, Westlow is such a good out to it. It's like you summon Serato attacks over. They have to commit to the board to be able to stop that combo happening. That doesn't happen very often in that case. So you're going to run over their Thunder King with your Serato, and then you get to search. So you basically make up Westlow that you set on the field in your hand. So you go back up to a really high number. And obviously Westlow having that really fantastic combo, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, running 3 of them is pretty much optimal, especially when you're running a lot of back row hate to protect it. I am now running 2 Evol tile Najashos. I was running a 3rd Evol tile, I was running an El Gennaro from Galactic Overlord, and the one that lets you tribute it and then you draw, and then you put a card back in and add a card. It's good for consistency wise, but I'm realizing that my deck can do well even if I just draw Evosaurs. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, 2 Najashos, really fantastic for Evo Force plays. It can be searched with diversity, so 2 is really necessary, because on its own you just set it and you have to obviously hope they don't exceed. Obviously now that I can protect it and so on, and I find 2 to be the best number. I don't really need 3. You know, I draw into it enough and I search for it generally, and whenever I tap with Serato, I can add this to my hand, so there's a lot of search power and I don't need to run 3. Now obviously a lot of people have opted to run 2 Seratos, but I still find that 3 is best, mainly because of its 1900 attack. It's the only Evosaur out of the 3 where you can normal summon it and it's still formidable force on its own. Obviously when it gets summoned by a Najasho or Westlow, it goes up to 2-1 and it can rotor a card into your hand when it destroys a monster in battle, so it's such a good plussing machine. And I don't really mind if it dies because I have got 3 of them in my deck. Really fantastic card. So I am running 2 Volcano and Diplo. This is pretty much the best ratio in terms of the Evosaurs. I personally like it like this. It's mainly because it makes 7 cards. Volcano, you want 2 of them because then you can do a double Najasho Volcano summon late game. So Volcano can bring out 2 Evosaurs, and Diplo can just pop shit when it wants. And so, you know, that's why I only run 2 MST. So because of Diplo being able to pop so much stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much the best ratio. And lastly, I'm using a Gauze. Gauze is just OTKs, just like it always is useful for. I'm running a lot more traps now, but the fact is that Gauze is still fantastic. If I've got it in my hand, I'm not going to set as much, obviously. It's just really fantastic in case things go shit and I have to basically resort to a Gauze, and Gauze is just fantastic. And obviously if I have a Lagio on my field, I don't need to commit to my back row, because they do get rid of all their cards to destroy it, thinking, I've got my field back now, I can attack, and then I Gauze to like back to square one. So really fantastic. Okay, so in the right order, we're going to do the spell cards now. I'm running 3 Evo Force and a enemy controller. These are the four tribute cards which are going to be used with Yugioh. These are the only four. I've realised that this is the best number. For every 2 tribute cards there is 1 Yugioh. So that makes it really actually work out really well. I like Econ, but I do like Evil Force more because of the fact that I'd much rather make a Largia and rather set my field up in that way rather than using Econ to take their monster, because I just don't really like that. I don't really mind it, it's good, it's just like having one of them is good to have when it comes about, it's good, but a lot of the time I find Evil Force to be a lot more powerful in this deck anyway. Next up we have our consistencies, which is obviously 3 Evo Diversity and 2 Potter Duality. These are the cards which you can use to get your Yugioh into your hand, or if you need it, you need to get a Evosaur into your hand as well. Of course, Potter Duality is really great for doing the Westlow first turn set, and then you basically improve your hand with Potter Duality because you don't need to special summon that turn. Next up, we're going to have 2 MSTs. Obviously, I'm still a bit afraid to not run 3 MST because I think so many more people are playing traps now. So 3 MST is really good still, but I am running 2 Diplos, and I don't mind if a lot of my monsters die, and I'm going to be negating stuff with Largia and so on. So 2 and a Heavy Storm is best. And obviously the other 4 staple spells. Book of Moon especially because of Westlow being able to be flipped down, so you can keep using it. Obviously I was opting to use Tsukiyomi, but I realised that there's only 3 cards in my deck that can use Tsukiyomi, so I realised Book of Moon is pretty much better, and it can be used as an offensive card as well. Okay, so now we're on to the trap cards. Yeah, we're going to be running the Solemn Brigade because any decent deck warrants using it. 1 compulsory evacuation device. I would be running 2, but I was just using it's a space issues mainly, and I found compulsory to be really good even if you run just 1 of them. It's just great for setting, and you know, protects your cards, and it bounces XCs and stuff. I realised that if I have this set and I have Westlow set as well, and then they go all out to try and they think, oh, it's going to be a Westlow or something, they try and make a big monster to try and get over it, then if I know my Westlow is not going to survive and I still want to benefit from its flip and still keep it on the field, then I can opt to use compulsory that's face down to protect it, and then I can flip it up on my turn, do a Diplo or so on. Yeah, 2 torrential tributes, obviously, although I do feel like sometimes I have a Westlow on my field and I can't really use torrential until it's got rid of it, and I can have a big field sometimes and torrentials be pretty much stuck there, but in times when torrential obviously does come in handy. As well as 2 torrentials, I'm running 2 Mirror Force. Now that it's a 2, the deck, as many other decks that are control based, it's just so good when it goes off. You know, a lot of people are still not expecting it, and I still, you know, every time I use it now, I just remember the times when it used to be really good, and it still is really good, especially with the fact of Inzectors being gone. Because as soon as Inzectors came around, this card was no longer useful because it just got popped constantly. But now that they're gone, this card can come back, and it's at 2, so Konami just made a huge, like, you know, it's completely changed the format with this, and I'm sort of feeling like I should be running 2 Mirror Force in every deck. It's just space issues really that I can't do that. And lastly is a Starlight Road, because I'm running many more traps, and I'm running stuff like Book of Moon MST, and I'm being able to summon 2 monsters at a time, and they're going to torrential, they're going to Mirror Force, they're going to Black Rose Dragon if they're playing plants, stuff like that. Starlight Road does go off a lot more often, and I do like to have my free Stardust Dragon. It's really fantastic. Okay, so now we're on to the extra deck. We are running Utopia and Utopia Ray, because I can make it, and I do run Solemn Warnings and stuff like that, so I do get put down to 1,000 life points sometimes, so it's really fantastic way to fill my graveyard up and make a 4,000 beta. Really just fantastic combo. I just love it. It's really good. And I'm running my 1 rank 3, I believe it's my only rank 3, yeah, Zen mains, because I can make it with 2 Westlow, or I can Monster Born their card and so on, or I can enemy controller their Sangan, and then I can Xyz. So it's 1 rank 3 just for those moments when you need it, and I feel like Zen mains is the best one. Now back onto the rank 4s, we're going to have a Maestroke, the Symphony Djinn, a really good card for first turn setup, first turn crap, you know, just be able to make it and then sit behind it with something else on the back row. Running a Photon Papillo Imperative. This is a German one, so it does say Photono Falter Agent, which is kind of interesting. Obviously it's so good, especially it's one of my only ways of dealing with Spirit Reaper. as well as other cards that just, you know, flip them up, basically make them use their effects and so on, and they're getting really defensive, you know, they're trying to basically hold out for a while, then you can keep putting the pressure on with this card. Divinite Pearl, as I said before in many different videos, it gets past Shien, it gets past Utopia, it gets past Stardust Dragon, it gets past so many things because of its special attack. It's really, really fantastic. Zenmeister, I would like to quickly go over the play that you can do with this card. Okay, so this is the play that you do with Zenmeister. I have talked about it before in my previous version of this deck. So yeah, you have a Westlow in your hand, and you have any level 4 Evosaur. Westlow gets put down, Westlow flips up, and Westlow summons a Serato or whatever from your deck. Now, in your hand, you have that Evosaur that I was saying that you should have in your hand. On your next turn, you summon it. Obviously, do whatever you want to do first, but you don't have to, you can just go straight into it. You Xyz into Zenmeister. Zenmeister detaches one card. You flip Westlow down. This is in your graveyard, by the way. Westlow flips up, and you get from your deck a Volcano, and you special summon from your graveyard the monster that you detached from Zenmeister. So you need, it uses overall 3 Evosaurs. And now you overlay the 2 to summon Yugioh. And if you have a Volcano in your deck still, then the next turn, if provided you set protection, you can do the play again, and you can summon another Yugioh. So it's basically a free Yugioh every turn. Doesn't cost you anything to make it. Okay, so next up, as I just showed you, I am running 2 Yugiohs because I never need to have 3, and plus I'm not really, can't be bothered to go out and get another ultimate one, so this one will do just fine. Really, really fantastic card, as well as a Joker to just negate everything. It's just really great now that it's been reprinted. Obviously everyone was looking at rabbits, but the fact is that this card and these cards should be left for Evols, because it makes the deck so much more powerful. And for my synchros, I always play 1 Stardust for Starlight Road and for whatever, and Catasta and Armium. And I obviously have synchros because I'm probably going to side my Veilers, so I can actually summon these. I don't want to clog up my side deck with these cards and take out other things. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at my deck profile. I really liked how the way that this deck has gone now. I just love the way that it plays, and I love the control aspect of it. I love how the deck has become, not that the format has become more track card orientated, so it's a really great deck to play now. And if I were to be able to go to tournaments, I definitely would show up much better than I used to, even though whenever I used to play meta decks, I did win quite a lot because of it being quite control. And I just seem to, it depends, if you understand the meta as well, then it helps, but at the same time the deck has a lot of tricks, and especially with Thunder King being popular now, and other monsters being, you know, 1900 like Alias, then Westlow does go off a lot more. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Do comment if you feel like there should be any changes to it, but I've realised, especially stuff like the ratios of the cards, it's pretty much perfect now. I can't really improve it anymore without making it worse overall. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and Thetcglover out.